What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video on DC Future States. And today we're covering Catwoman number 2, written by Ram V and drawn by Otto Skimmets. Last issue had Selina trying to rescue Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, off a magistrate train. A lot of twists and turns occurred, and to get you guys caught up on the story thus far, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can see what's happened. Because going into this issue, there's a little things you need to know, not a lot, just know that Catwoman is on a train trying to rescue Bruce, and she's having help from her strays. And there's other characters like Onomatopoeia and Talia al Ghul involved. But yeah, if you guys are ready, let's dive into this issue. Alleytown, Gotham 2025. A bunch of officers are knocked out on the grounds. Selina calls in for Cheshire. She gets no answer. We then see Cheshire swinging multiple guards and knocking them out. She tells Selina, give me a second, I'm a little busy. Cheshire finishes taking down these officers and then reports to Selina. Cheshire is going to blow up a magistrate base using different charged bombs. Cheshire puts the last of the charges and heads out of the building. She reports to her teammates, Leo. Leo knows the plan. The charges will blow up the base, the hardline feeding the power to the train will be dead. If the train is hit right when it goes through the Irontown tunnel, then Selina will be given the window to rescue Bruce. Leo calls in for Selina. Leo is worried for Selina. She's on comms, but she sounds like she's hurt. Badly. Selina reassures Leo that she's fine. She shuts off her comm and lays down. There's a multitude of guards around her knocked out. Selina is exhausted. We switch to Cheshire, watching the magistrate base blow up into fire. You are loud, fracoom! The magistrate get alert of the destroyed base. The train's power is lost. The train is on its emergency reserves. The strays all follow Selina's plan, but they are worried for her. Selina is currently on the ground, passed out. From here we go inside Selina's mind. She's above Bruce's dead body in a coffin. She says, I'm trying, Bruce. This isn't me. You know I don't stick my neck out. I don't save people. I'm no hero. Now Selina falls to the ground. She says, but I'm all they've got. I'm trying. I don't know how to do this. And you're gone. I could use a little help. Now, behind Selina is Batman. Batman says, not gone, Selina. Dead. Bruce Wayne is dead, and I'm all that's left. You want to know why he did it? All those times cut to shreds and shot up and bleeding and broken. He did because he was afraid he'd end up in this way, alone and trapped in the dark with no one but me for company. Now, Bruce sits up and grabs Selina and says, you want to get out of here? Wake up again. You need to be afraid of the same thing, Selina. You need to know that down here in the dark, Bruce Wayne may be dead, but Batman lives. Now stand up. Slap. Now Selina says, what? Slap. Now she wakes up and she sees Onomatopoeia above her, going to slap her. Selina catches Onomatopoeia's hand and says, touch me again, I'll tear your arm off. Onomatopoeia steps back, then points at smoke coming out of the wall. Selina says, it's the sedative gas from the security pods. They're pumping it in. We switch to the control center, and we see these different guards. They're inside, and they say, oh, sir, you're back. The Gotham Network has informed us about a problem with a local substation. They'll route power to the hardline from the eastern grid ASAP. Do you want me to inform Whiteport the delay, Captain? But it's not actually the Captain. It's Bruce and Talia al Ghul. Talia kicks one of the guards in the face, while Bruce grabs two of the guards' heads and slams them to the ground. Talia says, okay, I want a short window here, Bruce. No time for your idealism. I got the resistance way on the other side of the tunnel, hoping that I was right about you still being alive. Now, Bruce responds, I don't care who's Wayne or how long we got, Talia. No killing. Now, Talia responds, fine. Naive as ever, Bruce Wayne. Now, Talia and Bruce continue to just dismantle all these different guards. And Talia says, but you do well to remember you almost died. You're the only one still playing by the rules. So Talia is saying, you're playing by the rules, but it caused you to almost die. Where us, like Talia, Catwoman, they don't play by the rules. And they're still alive, so Bruce's way might not be the right way. Now, continuing, Talia goes over to the computer system. She says, if we can find the central security mechanism, we can unlock the doors at the front. With a train moving at this speed, we should be able to jump out. Bruce responds, I thought there'd be more guards. Talia says, there are. They're dealing with a disturbance farther down the train and we'll be back in a second. We shouldn't linger. There it is. Okay, I've unlocked the first 2 doors. We should get moving. But that's when Bruce looks at the security cameras and sees Catwoman hurting. He looks. He needs to go down there and save her. We switch to Catwoman and Onomatopoeia with their mask on. There's smoke in there. Catwoman says, Leo. Leo calls in. He says, I'm looking at the schematics, and those high-set coaches are made of half-inch thick steel. The doors have heavy-duty mag locks on them. I mean, unless you're carrying a stick of dynamite for an old-school train robbery, we might be out of luck. Selena responds, my suit, Leo. Does it still have power? Leo responds, yes, but Selena cuts him off, saying, I'm going to place my hands on the door. If you overload the magnets in my hands with everything we got. Leo smiles and says, it will cause an electromagnetic shockwave. That's brilliant. But, Selena, it's likely to do just as much damage to your hands. Selena says, do it. It's what he would have done. Leo says, are you sure there isn't? Selena says, do it. Onomatopoeia then says, boom. We are loud, boom, as the whole door just explodes and these guards are sent back. The captain looks back. Selena and Onomatopoeia fall to the ground. Onomatopoeia says, slam. And Selena, she tries getting up. Now all the guards, they look up and they are afraid of Selena. Selena gets out her whip. She hits them across the face. She starts scratching all the different guards and cutting their faces. She goes to attack the captain. But the guards get up and grab her, puts her hands behind her back and pulls her to the ground. The captain steps in front of Selena saying, you really should learn to recognize when you are beaten. You've made a nuisance of yourself, you know? Now everyone will have to be punished for your insolence. Things might have gone so much better if you just lay down, breathe in deep, and close your eyes. Look at you, all bloody and beaten, that pretty face all scratched up and claws all blunted. Was it worth it? The captain grits his teeth and puts a gun to Selena's hands. He says, well, any last words? Selena says, yeah. Batman lifts. We see Bruce behind the captain. He jumps up and stabs the captain in the back. Now, Selena gets up, and that's when Onomatopoeia shows up and shoots the guards in the head. He says, blam! Now, Selena kicks the guards back. Selena gets up right beside Onomatopoeia, Bruce, and Talia. Selena looks at Bruce saying, Bruce? Bruce then looks at her and says, looks like bats have more than one life too. Selena slaps Bruce, and then they kiss. Bruce says, you're hurt. Selena responds, yeah, well, you're dead. Now, Talia says, and if we don't get out of here before this train comes out of the tunnel, we really will be. Now, Selena goes close to Bruce and says, you really ought to rethink your +1 if you're going to crash my party like this. Now, Bruce says, you're not doing so great yourself, looking at Onomatopoeia. Now, Selena looks up and says, how'd you? And Bruce says, I was shot. Almost drowned and lived through a butcher stitching me up. Selena says, power's back. So the power's back in the train, and the magistrate are coming. The captain says, ugh, you know what that means, don't you? You celebrated too early. I've already signaled for our peacekeeper, and the failsafe on the train's been activated. There'll be no escape. Now, Leo calls in and says, he's not kidding, Cat. I'm detecting a radio alert going out from the train. Talia says, and there's probably a series of charges on each coach linked via hardline. We need to get off this train now, Bruce. Bruce responds, what's your exit strategy, Cats? Now, Selena says, the Gotham Ghost Rail. We found the old subway tunnels under Alleytown, a forgotten network linking right up to the Irontown Tunnel. Leo restored an old rail engine. We've been clearing tunnels and relay track ever since the magistrate moved in. We'll link the coaches with the kids to the restored engine, slip away under the tunnel. The kids are in the rear coaches. We can detach them from the rest of the train. Bruce says, it'll break the hardline to the explosives and we can get them away to safety. Talia says, Bruce, the resistance needs you. Bruce responds, I remember why I'm here, Talia. Now, Catwoman goes over to all the strays. They're excited to see her. They're happy she's fine. Now, she says, everyone inside, all the way to the back, go. Now, Bruce closes the doors and says, there it is, the emergency uncoupling mechanism. Selina responds, you're not coming with me, are you? Bruce says, they're all going to come after me, Cats. If I go with you, they'll be raiding the whole time. This way, they'll think I engineered the escape. I'll make sure of it. No one's going to miss 2 coaches when the Batman blows up the train. Now, Selina gets on the other side of the coach, saying, and you? Where will you go? Bruce responds, Talia has the resistance waiting by a service channel at the other end of the Iron Town tunnel. We'll run the train up to speed and jump off. Selina says, when this is done, Bats, how will I find you? Bruce says, just steal something important, Cats. Now, Bruce leaves. Selina and Bruce are separated once again. Now, we see Selina, she's getting away with the strays. They make it out, they celebrate, Bruce makes it away, and it's overall a good heist. We see the train, it blows up, yeah, crack, 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 doom! And the train drivers say, there's nothing left of the train, sir. Most of the guards seem to have jumped and made it out alive. Part of the train is still trapped in the tunnel. We'll have a better idea once we clear the collapse. But we found something by the mouth of the tunnel that we think you should see. We see that the captain is strapped to this one sign. It says, Batman lives. Now, Peacekeeper 01 was calling in, so he got all this information, all this info about the heist, and how Bruce got away, and that Batman is coming back. And that's how we end Future State's Catwoman. So that was Future State Catwoman number 2, and I really enjoyed this issue. The artwork by Otto Skimmin again was amazing, guys. His action sequences, his facial expressions, his different panel layouts. The artwork in this issue is just plain phenomenal. It was really good. Now, the writing by Ram V was amazing as well, guys. I really like the character arc of Selina, seeing her go in her mind, seeing that she's not really a hero, but she's still trying to rescue Bruce. And the moment at the end where she's separated from Bruce once again is very emotional and brings the series to a really good close. Because, yeah, she kind of won. She rescued Bruce, she saved all her strays, she got the kids away, it was a good heist, but she's still not with Bruce. And what I find also interesting was seeing Bruce and Talia pretty much teaming up. That was nice. Those like 2 pages or so. Seeing Talia be like, hey, your whole no-kill rule is not working. It almost got you killed. Where I'm not using that rule and I'm surviving. Which I actually agree with Talia. But hey, it was still a good back and forth conversation. Now, Onomatopoeia didn't do much, but I still liked his presence, his interactions with Selina, and hearing him be like, slam, boom. It actually added to the scenes and made them more awesome. But overall, the ending of everything, seeing the captain get messed up by Bruce, that whole scene where Bruce jumps and takes out the officer, and Selina's like, Batman lives, that was really dope. I really like the whole theme that Batman lives, and that hope is coming back. That was a really good theme for this 2-part series, and it was brought to a really good close on the final page. So yeah, this whole series, this 2-part series of Catwoman, doesn't add much to Future State. Yes, it explains what's going on with Bruce a little bit, like it connects the Dark Detective very well, but it's more just a solid Catwoman story. And that's honestly all I could ask for. And that's why I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. I definitely recommend it. If you like Catwoman, if you like Ram V's writing, if you just want a fun, entertaining story, check it out. But yeah, guys, if you liked the video, give a big thumbs up. New channel, make sure to subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next DC Future State video. And leave your thoughts on this issue down below. I really want to know you guys' thoughts on this. Did you like this issue? Did you like the ending? And what was your favorite parts? And actually, which character is your favorites? Bruce, Selina, Talia, or Onomatopoeia? You guys tell me down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out.